Oh shit, it's the fuzz.
Go on. Go now!
Gotcha! Okay! Hikaru-san, let's go!
Looks like we managed to get away.
We got out in time. It's nice to meet you, Labris. I'm Yukari Takiba.
Oh, yes. I'm Kanemata. Wow, so it's true that you're like Aigus-san. Oh, and this is Koromaru. Huh? A dog?
Yeah, dog.
He's not just a pet. Koromaru might not look like it, but he can fight as well.
Beginning personnel scans. Everyone in this helicopter seems to be a member of the Shadow Operatives. According to the new data that I was giving during my repairs, they're all Mitsuru-san's friends since high school. These people are all comrades who have fought alongside Mitsuru-san and each other.
Takeba-san? You're dressed in a kinda interesting way.
Huh? Oh, this? Yeah, I got picked up suddenly from my job and I didn't have any time to change. I bet I'm never gonna hear the end of this. Also, you can just call me Yukari. I hope we get along, Labris.
But to think that organization would come after us now at such an important time. If Kurosawa-san hadn't gotten that tip, we'd be doomed. Hey, right. What's going on with those guys? Who are they again? Public safety? Oh, that's right. You don't know.
Ken-kun politely explains the situation to me. Some people in the public safety department don't think well of the Shadow Operatives. When Mitsuru-san and the others went missing, public safety took advantage of this confusion and attempted to take control of over the Shadow Operatives' headquarters. They had been trying to remove Mitsuru-san from her position, and showed up at the lab in an attempt to confiscate me for evidence. To move this quickly after she disappeared, though, public safety must have some way of knowing what's going on within the Shadow within the Shadow Operatives. God, I can't read this morning.
They say Mitsuru-san set everything up. She would never. I can't understand it either. All this about honor and adult circumstances is foolish.
Yeah, but there are some people in public safety who don't agree with that. Or else Kurosawa-san wouldn't have gotten that anonymous tip.
Oh, that reminds me. I wonder if Kurosawa-san's okay.
Koromaru says that he's alright.
Huh? Can you understand dogs too, Yukari-san?
Well, no, but I've known Koromaru for a while, and that just seems like what he's saying. I'm sure Kurosawa-san will be just fine.
Koromaru-san's white fur reminds me of something. Snowy. My friend who I met on that southern island. I can tell from Yukari-san's words that all the other people here in this helicopter know each other very well.
So where are we going now anyway? We're gonna go look for Mitsuru-san and them, right?
Right. It looks like there was an increased shadow reading someplace called Inaba, and they were headed there. We'll go that way for now.
Inaba.
That's right. This could be a continuation of the events from yesterday. An ordeal. Elizabeth's words from my dream echo in my mind.
Don't look so gloomy. I'm sure Mitsuru-senpai's fine. She's got Akihiko-senpai, Fuka, and even Aigus with her after all. Oh, right. You're Aigus' sister, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. I was made just before her, though.
You seem so stiff. You don't need to be so polite with us.
I heard that you were an earlier model than Aigus-san, but you don't seem less advanced at all. You seem perfectly normal. Do you fight with that axe you're carrying? Could I touch it?
The two of them are interacting with me quite normally, even though they know I'm a machine. Even though they must know what happened in Inaba and about my past. That acceptance makes me happy. Koromaru-san is gazing intently at me too.
Yukari-san, have you been able to make contact with Iori-san?
A voice from the cockpit interrupts us. Kikino-san, Mitsuru-san's maid, is in the pilot seat. She seems demure, but if she can pilot a helicopter like this, her skills seem to know no limits. But I've been told Kikino-san isn't a Persona user. Isn't it dangerous for her to come with us in a situation like this?
I completely forgot. Hold on a sec.
Yukari-san pulls out her cell phone. It seems they are trying to meet with Junpei Iori, another part-time shadow operative, and also a fellow comrade since high school. While Yukari-san is on the phone, I decide to ask Kikino-san about the doubts I have.
Saikawa-san, you're not a Persona user, are you?
Please call me Kikuno. And no, I only have the potential towards the Dark Hour.
Oh, I didn't know you had that. Even the maids in the Kirijo family are amazing. So that means you can't fight shadows, right? Then ain't it dangerous for you to come along?
If I have the correct information, then the grotesque monsters known as shadows, our enemies, can only be defeated by people who can use personas. In other words, since Kikino-san is an ordinary human, she could never defeat a shadow, even if she was the most proficient warrior in the world. Well, if both Persona 3 and Persona 4 have taught us anything, that you can just defeat shadows with weapons, so that's not entirely true. Oops. If she ever encountered a shadow on her own, Kikino-san would face immediate death. And yet, she smiles warmly as she answers me.
There are more ways to deal with shadows than the direct method. We've never met in person, but I was involved in the operation to rescue you last time. We all do whatever we can to the best of our abilities to fulfill the roles we've been given. That is what it means to fight.
Wow, she's a true professional.
To be honest, I don't understand. True, Kikino-san is helping us by piloting the helicopter for us. But if that's all it took, then someone could easily program me with the ability to fly the helicopter, and there would be no need for Kikino-san to be exposed to the danger of having to join this operation.
I see.
I can't think of any other words to say, and I look away from her. I end up meeting Kenkun's eyes, and feel a little awkward.
It's no use, he's not picking up. This is so important. Why now?
Yukari-san puts down her phone and turns to us again. Everyone's attention returns to getting up to speed on the current situation.
Oh well, we'll just have to begin our search on our own.
You know, Kikuno-san, I'm surprised you knew where we were without having to contact us at all.
I traced the GPS signals from your cell phones. We're still partners with the police force, so it's no problem to do that in an emergency. Then again, we've just seen how even that doesn't always help.
You mean about Junpei-san?
It's like he's going out of his way to inconvenience us.
Yukari's sighs with a somewhat astounded expression. As I reflect that this Junpei-san appears to be something of an odd person, Kikino-san taps her armrest as if remembering something.
Oh dear, I almost forgot. Labra-san, please review these documents until we arrive at our destination.
Confidential classified. With that, Kikino-san hands me a folder.
Fuka-san asked me to tell you about this, but under the circumstances, would you please look through the material on your own?
As I flip through the documents in the thick file, I notice that certain names appear again and again. Mitsuru, Akihiko, and the names of everyone here. What is this?
It's a summary of the activities that took place 3 years ago.
3 years ago? You must
Persona
mean...
3! Wait.
I see. Whoever's behind what's going on is definitely connected to those events.
3 years ago refers to the incident leading to Mitsuru-san and the rest meeting one another. I haven't had the chance to go over it in detail, but supposedly, it's the case that became the impetus for Mitsuru-san to establish the Shadow Operatives, and the bonds that they have formed among each other. They were nurtured through the battles they took part in back then. Such deep connections look radiant in my eyes. I decided that it's important that I learn more about what happened then. As important as learning more about who, or whatever, is behind the events going on now. If I just wanted information on it, I could easily just transfer that data directly into my memory. But by actively reading it like this, I'll be able to understand what happened. Her thoughtfulness of treating me the same as a person makes me happy. Kikino-san glances at me once more and nods slightly, as if in approval.
I think it looks good on you. A proper appearance is important when going out on a grand stage.
Does she mean the uniform I'm wearing? Oh, I get it. She must have been the one who prepared the Yasugami uniform that Kurosawa gave me. Her sudden compliment is a little embarrassing, but I can't help but smile. I mean, this uniform, to me, it's proof of my connection to Yuku and his friends.
Thanks.
Kikunu-san reacts with a small smile, then produces some other items.
Yukari-san, Ken-san, I have acquired evokers and suitable weapons for you.
Wow, thank you. This would be the best for me.
Ken-kun takes a spear from Kikunu-san and sits back with a satisfied expression. The spear is longer than Ken-kun is tall, but he seems confident. Wouldn't such a weapon be too unwieldy for him to handle?
Kikino-san, what is this?
Kikunu-san hands Yukari-san what appears to be a large pink bow that perfectly matches the suit she's wearing. Upon seeing it, Yukari-san looks baffled.
It's the ultimate arrow! It's so pink.
I acquired reference material from the publisher and had it made. Don't worry, it's more functional than the prop on your show.
I'm pretty sure that makes it the best bow ever created, but...
In actual combat, I thought that using a form factor you're comfortable with would be best.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you to have a logical explanation like that.
Was my arrangement unnecessary?
Yeah, it was unnecessary. No, it's fine.
I like it. Can I see it for a moment?
As Ken-kun reaches toward the bow with interest, I sense the helicopter tilt slightly to the side.
We're circling around. Please hang on to something.
The helicopter leans more sharply as Kikunu-san speaks. It seems that we need to take on more fuel before we reach Inaba. I reflect on Elizabeth's words as I look down on the view spreading out below us. It reminds me of that mysterious sea-like place. The air in the helicopter is heavy. Upon reaching the last known location of Mitsuru-san and the others, we immediately saw that the guardrail is broken, as if a car had smashed through it. We looked down the cliff and discovered a black vehicle below, unmistakably Mitsuru-san's limousine. There were no skid marks on the road that indicate braking, and the car's body was seriously damaged. It appeared that it had been going at a very high rate of speed when it hit the barrier. Everyone paled in an instant, and we were all at a loss for words. But the driver was the only person in the vehicle, and though he was injured, there were no traces of blood from anyone other than him in the car. We wondered for a moment if the others had been able to leave the vehicle on their own. But if they had, they would have tried to contact us. It also seemed odd that they left an unconscious and injured man behind. Furthermore, there were no footprints around the vehicle at all. We did another search for their GPS signal, but there were no signs of their whereabouts. That left us with only one conclusion.
I hate to think about it, but does this mean that they've been captured?
Let us be optimistic and assume that they're still alive. If they were captured, then the enemy values their lives and will do no harm. We do have a chance.
I carried the injured driver from the bottom of the cliff back up to the road. Kikunu-san requested a vehicle to transport him to the hospital under the Kirijo family's care. Kikunu-san made his decision since we wouldn't have been able to explain what had happened to a normal ambulance. Also, it's possible that the people from public safety would take him away if we'd reported this to the authorities. Kikunu-san asked the personnel who arrived with the transport to try to ask the driver about what happened when he regained consciousness. That will likely be difficult, however. If this is similar to what happened last time, the driver would have no memories of the events, much like the people who captured me and transported me to Inaba last time. However, there's no guarantee that the same had happened to me, or the same had happened to the limousine driver. Not long after, we were back in the helicopter, which takes us to where we are now. To be honest, everyone's at a loss about how bad the situation is. Ken-kun tries to change the topic in an attempt to divert us from our worries.
It's amazing that you know how to pilot a helicopter, Kikunu-san. I heard that it's hard to hover in the mountains. Did you train for that?
Only a couple of years ago, but I have taken part in an assault operation involving a helicopter.
You were in an assault with a helicopter? Where?
Just a high school dormitory.
Oops.
Huh? Oh yeah, I remember that.
I decided to learn how to pilot in the event that if someone attempted the same move, I would be able to respond properly.
My understanding has been renewed. It seems that being a maid is a very serious and very difficult occupation.
Oh, damn. Well, I finally got in touch with Junpei. I don't know why, but he's already at Yaso Inaba Station, so I told him to stay there. In any case, we should head to Inaba too. We might find some kind of clue there.
Mitsuru-san's group had gone missing before sunset, and it's almost midnight now.
Whoever did this must be the same person who kidnapped Labra-san. It's unthinkable anyone else would be able to do that. The question is what he intends to accomplish by kidnapping them.
Kenkin flips through the reports on the events of the case up until now, seemingly lost in thought. What is to be gained by kidnapping Mitsuru-san this time? At that moment, heavy static flickers across the video displays within the helicopter.